didn't top it off. I tried to do it. The face, well, it is the face of the angry Monday Night Messiah. That is now my current cover photo. But it also is my face when a certain somebody returns to action for the first time in a year, and was not a fan of her to begin with. And the first thing she does when she comes back is she squashes my girl Deonna Purrazzo. Heh! We'll get to that in a little bit. What's going on, guys? Good evening. How are y'all doing tonight? This is the Club of the Man 1993. And I am here live for the Raw after WrestleMania 2020. The April 6th, 2020 edition of Raw. And it took place at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. Pre-taped, of course, recently. The Fallout show from WrestleMania. No audience. These shows have to end. They have to end. I'm sorry. Vince doesn't want to give up. I get it. Obviously, we need some sort of entertainment. Something to do. Something to, take our minds off of things that's going on right now. Seeing this, though, does not do it for me. I mean, yes, WrestleMania was alright in the end. They did the best. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't amazing. But WrestleMania is done. What is there really to look forward to now? Like, really, what is there? Why should I be excited for next week? This show was just another one of those shows that felt like we're doing it just to do it. Just to get a paycheck and go home. That's all it was. That's all it was. You think, at least AEW right now again. Oh, I'm sorry, I mentioned AEW on a WWE review. Too bad, I am. AEW is at least for a while going to be able to get away with this. Because they actually know how to write a compelling show without an audience. And I know, at least we didn't get replays. We got some highlights for WrestleMania. We didn't get legitimate, full pitch replays. This show, though, was still garbage. Nothing mattered on this show. Nothing felt like a fallout. Nothing felt like got me excited for next. Nothing made me feel like, oh my goodness, it's a new season for WWE as the Raw after Mania feels like, or the SmackDown after Mania. No! Didn't feel like any of that at all. Even how the show started. It was just like, it's just another show. No! This night is supposed to be special. You don't know who's going to show up. The crowd is hot off of WrestleMania. There's supposed to be some surprises. The beginning of new pushes, as it always seems to be. It's like the new year setting the stage for the next year for WWE. I saw that WrestleMania 37 promo we got tonight. Hyped up, I'm thinking, geez, I'm still praying, hoping that by this time next year, we will all be back to our normal lives. I hope by this summer, at least, we will be. Because now I'm hearing rumors, I don't even know when this pandemic's going to end. I'm sorry, I did not like this episode of Raw. And Vince, you seriously almost got me angry with that main event. That last thing, that whole thing, oh my gosh, big breaking news of what happened after WrestleMania went off the air last night. Oh my gosh, I still hate it, but you're lucky. You got very, very lucky. There's only maybe one or two things I can say I liked about this show. The rest of it was garbage. Oh my gosh. If everybody's... Okay, last year's Raw after Mania was trash. Terrible. I hated it. And I was there live. Okay, there was a few things. It was more like a decent show, but still, What's up, Mark? He says, that Aleister and Apollo match was too long. We'll talk about that. And yeah, I don't get why either. It made no freaking sense. And I held my breath. I literally thought we were going to be getting another WWE champion. And we're going to be seeing Drew McIntyre next to me right now. Heck, I would have been okay with seeing Brock, honestly, still champion, if they were trying to hold off on Drew in his big moment, if they wrote it the right way. But, oh, God. This was definitely the worst Raw after WrestleMania in history, for sure. I gotta say. Because this show did nothing for me. I'm not excited for anything coming up. I'm not excited for next week. I'm not excited for Money in the Bank. I'm not excited for any programming whatsoever. Well, AEW and, of course, NXT is actually going to be pretty good this Wednesday. I'm looking forward to it. I'm sorry. I'm not. I am not. And the thing that could entertain me most on this show is a death glare by Seth Rollins. A death glare by Seth freaking Rollins. I'm sorry, the Monday Night Messiah, because it's Vince's show. Oh, WrestleMania was the most socially show of all time, or whatever the heck it was. Oh my gosh, WWE. Get over your damn egos. You find the littlest, the sneakiest little tagline to say you guys are the best with everything. And yes, exactly. I hated this show. I hated it. There's some stuff that was what it was. I hated it. I hated the show. Of course, not as much as I hated the wild card rule, which I got scared for 1 second they were bringing that back. But of course, there are cheesy little explanations as why this happened. Let's get into this. Also, why in the hell is Charlotte going to NXT? They don't need her. I mean, it creates fresh stuff, but who's going to beat Charlotte if Rhea Ripley can't? Rhea Ripley is supposed to be built as like the most dominating woman right now in NXT, but she's going to beat Charlotte. I'm still mixed about how I feel about that finish for that match. Anyways, let's talk about the show. Make sure to follow along in the live chat as always, guys. And also, I'm trying to get, the polls back on Twitter. Make sure to place your vote on Twitter for what grade would you give the Raw after WrestleMania? An A, a B, a C, or D, or lower. Right now, we have 19 votes on it. So, let's get rolling with this. And of course, I will have one turn alert to come after this. I know there should be two, but I'm only doing one. I mean, I did the Mandy Rose one earlier today, but I'm going to do another female superstar. I am not going to do a turn alert. I'm going to hold off on a turn alert from what happened in our main event. This most breaking news. Oh my gosh, this happened after WrestleMania. Overhype once again. So anyways, let's talk. And I'm probably going to rant a lot, especially about this first hour. This first hour, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I hated this first hour the most. This is probably the part I hated, the part of the show I hated the most. So we get a recap first of Drew McIntyre winning the WWE Championship. Okay, maybe we'll start off with like a big promo with Drew McIntyre or something like that. I mean, yes, or something like along the lines. Because, he's new champion. He had the big moment at WrestleMania. I mean, again, yes, there's no crowd here, but obviously he can address us some way, somehow, who knows? Some way. Anyways, so we got a good intro. And I'm like, okay, who's going to start off the show? Hypes up. And out comes Asuka. And I'm like, why is Asuka starting off this show? She lost the women's tag titles last night. But comes out, as she normally does anymore, because that's how she talks. Well, not trying to make fun of her, but, that's all she does. She comes out. It says representing one half the Kabuki Warriors. Kairi Sane never came out, so what? Are they a done deal now? Who knows? Vince probably never even liked Kairi to begin with, because she always looked weak compared to Asuka. I'm sorry, but I don't think Kairi's looked really like that great, even as with the tag team champs. I think it benefited Asuka, but I still didn't see it really benefiting Kairi much. And she has a match against Liv Morgan to start off this show. Why are we starting off okay, you could have done this match another point in the show. I would have been fine with that. Why are we starting off the Raw after WrestleMania with a random women's match with Asuka and Liv Morgan? Why are we starting off with, one of the new champions? Or just some other way to fire up this show? Something. Instead, we're getting a random match with Asuka and Liv Morgan. And the match was decent. I guess I will give Liv credit. I do think she's gotten better. I definitely think she's more meant to be a babyface for sure. As a heel, she's just not intimidating to me at all. And she just didn't really... She looked weak as a heel. But I think she has something going. And I thought she put on a decent performance. It took about 20 minutes of the show, though, because of the commercial breaks. But, Asuka gets her to tap out to the Asuka lock. And that is that. We have some backstage, some recap. We see a recap of the Becky and Shayna match. And we get a replay of the post-match interview where Becky talks about holding the title for a year and how talented Baszler is. But, she knows Baszler's going to be coming after her again, so she's here whenever she wants it. Then Baszler gets some promo where she's almost crying, saying that she's promising Becky that Victory will feel the agony of her defeat or something like that. Because I feel like, well, if they're still going to be continuing this on somehow between Becky and Shayna, I guess they're doing the same booking that they're doing with Becky and Ember Moon. I mean, not Becky and Ember Moon, with Ember Moon and Shayna Baszler. But, I mean, I'd say maybe the next match is like a submission match because it's like, okay, I almost beat every last breath out of you. You just got out of there alive, basically. Or something like that. But I still thought that finish was dumb. But, whatever. What do I know at this point? Well, no matter what we say, Vince is just going to do whatever he feels like doing. Ho, ho, ho. Because I'm Vince McMahon. Anything I do is such good shit. Anyways. So then we get to this freaking train wreck. We have a rematch for the Raw Tag Team Championship from WrestleMania. The Street Profits taking on a team of Angel Garza and Austin Theory with Zelina Vega. And I'm like, why are we doing this rematch? Like, why? Like, how did Theory and... I mean, the match they had last night at WrestleMania was okay, but again, it felt like a match you'd see on Raw. So I'm like, how did Theory and Garza earn this title opportunity? Again, what happened to title opportunities being earned? It's a freaking pet peeve of mine. As I've said how many times. The match happens, and it ends in a disqualification after Zelina Vega just grabs a hold of... Whose leg was it? Grabs Ford's leg, or Montez Ford's leg. She just grabbed it. I mean, she didn't even, like, throw a punch or anything. But it's like, okay, if she just touched him, it's like, just tell her to get out of the ring. Or just eject her. If she actually, like, hits her and then hits him, then I've never seen anyone get disqualified. The ref called for a DQ. Disqualified because Zelina Vega touched someone. She touched. She should have just been ejected. Instead, it's a disqualification. Oh, so if I touch this person, it's actually, I mean, it was stupid. And then I'm like, oh, this is what it's doing. It's set up for the exact same thing that happened last night. Filler! Bianca Belair comes out. And she, goes to take out Zelina. She cuts a promo. She basically says that, she goes here now. She is now the EST of WWE. So Bianca Belair is officially on Raw. Bianca Belair is not on NXT. She is on Raw. Which makes me worried. Because also a couple times during this whole big train wreck of a half an hour with these six, we've heard several times them saying, oh yeah, Bianca Belair, Montez Ford's wife. So I'm just like, anytime they say stuff like that they're saying it multiple times, I'm scared now they're going to get the Seth and Becky treatment, how they were booked last summer. That's why I'm getting worried now. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm overreacting. I can't trust WWE when they're constantly pointing out, oh, that's so-and-so's husband, that's so-and-so's girlfriend, that's so-and-so's boyfriend, that's so-and-so's this, that's so-and-so's that. They overproduce it, and it just makes it not cool at all or anything. So then, basically, Bianca calls out Zelina to have us one-on-one match. I'm like, okay, I guess. But then, that match ends in a disqualification or no contest whatever because the Street Profits just started brawling with Theory and Garza outside the ring. And because of that, this match ends in a no contest. Set up for a six-person mixed tag match, which they should have just done that in the first place. Bianca showed up at WrestleMania last night. They could have had her cut the promo before this happened. Why did we do this? This was shit. This was a mess. This was just... I hated this. I absolutely hated this. Street Profits and Belair won when Belair hit the KOD on Zelina Vega. But at this point, I just did not care. I didn't care. It was so dumb. I freaking hated this. Like, why do we have to do 2 disqualifications to lead to a mixed tag match? We knew Bianca saved them last night. Oh, I know why. We need filler to fill up time, for crying out loud, and go through how many freaking commercial breaks. Gosh, this was dumb. I hated this. And then we have a recap of what happened in the pointless Aleister Black and Bobby Lashley match. And afterwards, we have... Keep this in mind also. First of all, I talk about this promo real quick here. Bobby Lashley's been doing nothing but squashing Rusev, basically winning ever since him and Lana teamed up. Or him and Lana became a thing. Right? Right? Why is one goof all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I need new management. I need a new wife. I mean, yes, Lana has driven you nuts, drives us all nuts to begin with now because they voted her like a freaking idiot. But yet Bobby Lashley continues to look like more of an idiot. Whether he's smiling after Sami Zayn makes fun of his family, but he says one weak thing, one little weak thing, and that just pisses off Bobby Lashley so bad he wants to rip his shreds off. And then all of a sudden, he randomly hooks up with Lana, and then, Lana has no good reason at all. Yet Bobby, will still, propose when Lana says so. He will read the exact vows that Lana writes for him. He will still accept Lana without knowing about Lana's previous husband for Rusev. But one time Lana screws him up by telling him to go for the spear instead, and he gets hit with a black mass instead of hitting the Dominator, and all of a sudden, oh my gosh, Lana is... Does he have like a short temper fuse or something like that? What is up with Bobby Lashley's character? His in-ring ability, okay, it's been better, because when he first turned heel in 2017, did this whole just slow, showing off his physique, showing off his favorite pose. Remember this favorite pose, guys? Yeah, I know, it was stupid as hell, I know, but this... Why is this guy still here? Besides the fact him and Brock need to have a match. Why is this guy still here, constantly making his character look even more like an idiot than he already is? So, that happens, and then he walks away, so now, okay, we're going to get Rusev and Lana back together, and make everything just look so freaking... Gosh, it makes me so mad to think about it. Anyways, speaking of Aleister Black, we have a match. Aleister Black is supposed to be having a match next. And who is it against? Apollo Crews. Isn't Apollo Crews on SmackDown? That's when I started thinking, oh no. No. Not the wild card rule again. No. Unless maybe the Superstar Shakeup started earlier, but they didn't even advertise for a Superstar Shakeup tonight. So I'm just like, dear God, no. But then they said that Apollo's on Raw because a couple draft pick contracts are expiring. Like, what the hell does that even mean? Just some stupid cliche little thing that Vince probably at the top of his head to explain things, and it sounds so ridiculous. So he has his match with Aleister Black, and I don't think Apollo turned heel, but he had like a heelish look to him. He didn't really do any heel tactics, but he had like a heelish look to him in this match, if you know what I mean. This match was too long. Way too long. And again, I want to see Apollo Crews be successful in WWE. But how do you go from having him being the person that gets squashed by Sheamus in a 2-on-1 handicap match to then putting on like a 30-minute match with Aleister Black. You know, again, this consistency. Like, how is one person losing like when Jinder Mahal was WWE champion? How is he losing all these matches, but then all of a sudden, boom, he's winning matches? Or, you know, it's like whatever, like, you know, how is like all these women's wrestlers who have absolutely no depth to them, nobody's, but all of a sudden, as soon as they need someone to be in a title picture, oh, boom, all of a sudden, we're making her look like she's strong and legitimately a threat to win. It doesn't make any sense. And this match was so freaking long. And I'll give it, there was some spots that I actually did enjoy. I actually did think the second half of the match was pretty good. Apollo, I thought, was fighting off of a knee, off of a bad knee that he I don't know where he suffered during this match, but he was physical. He was countering a lot of the stuff Black gave to him. The only problem is, though, is I felt that, well, one, there was 3 or 4 freaking commercial breaks during this match. This whole thing lasted about 35 minutes. Way too long. Why? And then also, I didn't think really Apollo came across as somebody. I mean, he looked good in this match. Definitely one of his best matches on the main roster. But to me, it still didn't look like a guy who was literally, you know, opposing that much of a threat to Aleister Black. So it felt like Aleister Black was watered down as well. I didn't feel his mystique in this match. I normally do. And then he finally beats Apollo with the Black Mass. So I'm like, okay. I mean, I heard rumors apparently Paul Heyman's high on Apollo Crews. Okay, but the transition was just weird. Like, why maybe have like, you know, a couple like, you know, squash matches against like, you know, enhancement talent or something like that before putting on a match like this? Maybe I probably would have been able to appreciate some more. But the fact that you've had him be like nothing and all of a sudden like trying to like, you know, kind of give him like a serious 30-minute match, it's just like, like, I don't know. It was weird. I thought it was super weird. Whatever. Let's check the live chat before we move on to the second half of the show. We got Owen Stanley. That's a new one. What's up, Owen? Saying Io Shirai versus Charlotte. I am so here for. Okay, yeah, I would take Charlotte and Io, even though the only problem is they're both heels right now. But that could still be a pretty good match. I'd like to see that. I'd see that in NXT. I'm thinking Dream beats Cole next week, and we get Cole versus McIntyre in the future, given that feud on NXT never really took off. Yeah, because we did get I think we did actually get McIntyre. Did we get McIntyre and Cole in that one like house show on that Friday before TakeOver War Games 1 or something like that when Shawn Michaels special got referee? I mean, that still could be a good match on pay-per-view for sure. Wouldn't be a bad idea. But I don't know if Arrow's going to come to the roster or not. It's said the only thing I'm looking forward to at SmackDown is Mandy and Otis. Oh yeah, me too as well. Because what else did I really look forward to? Let me see here. Asuka is the best female performer. Oh, I can agree. Definitely. For sure. If they actually give her something credible to work with. I completely agree with that, Owen. I still get the hype with Liv Morgan. Everybody loves her on Twitter. I don't even know what her character is. Again, she's still not the flashiest, but I still think she's getting better, but I don't know. You're right, Tyler. What the hell was that? What that mean? This whole freaking show. Big Show, job to one Claymore. WWE needs to take a break from Mania. WWE needs to take a break in general. Yes, I completely agree. Owen loves Bianca, but I hope she's away from the Street Profits or she'll never get anywhere. Needs to be her own character with her own motivations. Exactly, because if they keep her with the Street Profits, I guess since Street Profits actually do have good charisma, you know, and such, especially Montez Ford, she may be able to be alright, but the way that it was booked tonight, and the way commentary kept saying, oh, Montez Ford's wife, I can see them literally doing exactly what they did with Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch last year. That's what I fear, because once again, WWE just overproduces it. Oh, they're a couple. Okay, we know they're a couple. We don't have to constantly be reminded that. But of course, they have to be in control of everything. Thank God Brock lost the belt. F-. This is the Raw after Mania's every. Is this main event or Raw? Don't even know. This sucks. Oh, so yeah, Lashley came back in 2018, 2017. My bad. Um, yeah, this is definitely the worst Raw man. But thank you for your stuff in the live chat, guys, as always. So let's keep rolling here in the second half of this freaking show. So after Aleister Black and Apollo Crews, we get a recap of Edge versus Randy Orton, which I thought was a good match. We then have this match with Cedric Alexander and Ricochet. Apparently, they're an exciting new tag team. I saw them recently when they had a match against Andrade and Angel Garza, and I thought, they could be a decent tag team. And I thought this match wasn't bad to begin with in general. So Alexander and Ricochet win. They're definitely more than just a tag team, but I guess I'll give them something to do, I guess. So I'm cool with this. They beat Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. We did get a recap of Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins, and Owens jumping off that WrestleMania sign, which I thought was freaking awesome. Owens cuts this promo where he talks about what Seth Rollins has put him through the past 5 months and how he doubted himself. But at WrestleMania, when he jumped off the sign, got the win, he got his answer. Yes, it was all worth it. Because all he wanted was just to get Seth one-on-one, which he could have done like how many times over 5 months, but instead he kept getting freaking multi-man matches, which was crazy. But now it's time to move on to bigger and better things. Thank goodness. And what is that? It is time to be the prize fighter again. Or should he root out the Seths of the world? No matter what, the message is the same. He's here to stay, and this is the Kevin Owens show. Okay, let's see what he actually does. Who knows? Speaking of which, the Monday Night Messiah, Stained Glass Rollins, should I say Stoneface Rollins, came walking out very slowly. I was kind of hoping this would have set up like, some other like big debut or something like that, or some big return, or some type of big surprise. Seth just walked out with that stone look on his face. He was just angry. He's like, and of course that face is gonna be the thumbnail of this stream, and it's my new cover picture on Twitter. Well, not the profile picture, but like the cover, the banner picture, whatever the heck it is. For like a year, it's been the Velveteen Dream on that freaking couch. I still thought it was priceless. I mean, he did it a couple of times last year, but unfortunately, it was time for something new. So it had to be Seth Rollins' death glare. Basically, he came out and took on Denzel DeJournette, and he basically squashed him. And he just walked out angry. So that's that. Then we had something that, let's say, made me a little bit angry, because we had the return of the one, the only, the face breaker, one of the greenest wrestlers really still right now. One that I'm particularly not a fan of, and one that Alex, formerly Deluxe Man, dubbed this catchphrase for her. Or not catchphrase, this one sound effect when you say this person's name. Heh! Nia Jax is back. Heh! Yeah, if you don't remember that, Alex, well now, formerly Deluxe Man, in the build for WrestleMania 34, because of the bad acting of Nia Jax, the way Nia just flipped out whenever Alexa and Mickey were just gossiping about her backstage, and she was trying to go after Alexa. She comes to that room, starts throwing things around, and she's going, hey, 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 hey. So ever since then, he's gotten the whole trend of, hey, every time we talk about Nia Jax. Hey! Nia Jax, though, makes her return. Which, again, I'm still very surprised Ruby Riott came back before Nia Jax. I thought Nia would have been back at the Royal Rumble, and we would have gotten Ruby at WrestleMania. I mean, after WrestleMania. But instead, they flip-flopped it. So I'm like, alright, whatever. So Nia comes back. And who does she take on? I've already mentioned several women. Of course, I already, just constantly mention how I'm super jealous but happy for Otis, of course, for winning Mandy's heart. And I even said it in the trailer for Mandy Rose. But there's still other women out there. Of course, in real life, I know most of these women's wrestlers are taken. But then, Nia Jax. I know she's probably going to be squashing somebody, but who was it going to be? had to be someone else that it's so dear to my heart. Even though I know in real life she has a boyfriend. Deonna Purrazzo. So I still don't get why she's a heel right now. Again, other than if she's going to be, part of the stable with make like a stable with like her and Chelsea Green, and they're both part of like the Robert Stone brand, because they're good friends in real life, and I've seen how many, like live event photos of them together. It's like, why not make them both part of the Robert Stone brand? But Nia comes to terms and squashes freaking Deonna Purrazzo, and that face that Seth Rollins made, the same face when Nia Jax squashes Deonna Purrazzo. So that happens, and of course we hear Nia's big mouth throughout the match. Takes me back to whenever she would come out to those segments, Moment of Bliss, going, like the terribly, she can't act. She can't act, I'm sorry, but Nia's back, she squashes Deonna, and then we get a recap of the Boneyard match. Just a recap, just highlights, not actual long-length repeats. It's not so hard after all, Vince, huh? We then have Humberto Carrillo take on Brendan Vink. I don't get why they keep using this Brendan Vink guy. In NXT, I see nothing in him. Carrillo wins, don't know what the point was. But that was the actual main event match, because the actual match we got at the end was a recap. We then had a recap of Charlotte and Rhea, and then Charlotte, apparently her post-match interview got played backstage, but I didn't get to really hear what she said, unfortunately, because I have no notes for it. And also, I was at one of my cousins actually called to talk to chat with me while this was going on, so I did not get to hear what Charlotte had to say. But, of course, she's the new NXT Women's Champion, so I don't know what she's going to do now, so who knows. I did like the idea that Owen mentioned in the live chat, in that live chat for the match with Charlotte and Io. I do like that idea for sure. But anyway, so then that happened, and then okay, let's get to this closing 20 minutes of the show. So throughout the whole night, there's this breaking news. Something big happened after WrestleMania last night. So I'm thinking, oh goodness, like who appeared, made a big surprise. Who's obviously next to Seth for the challenge for Drew McIntyre. I thought maybe someone beat down Drew McIntyre during his photo session or something. I'm like, let's see what this is. So we actually have Drew McIntyre come out to his entrance after WrestleMania last night for a post, WrestleMania interview of winning the WWE Championship. He says he hasn't had a chance to do anything because he's not sure it's real. It's only been like 20 minutes at this point. He took the time to get his side plates changed, so he knows he's not dreaming. He's going to start with the match. He wants to thank Paul Heyman. During the match, he was physically, mentally, and emotionally ready, and he saw that Brock was ready to go to war. There was a point where Heyman told Brock to keep hitting the F5 because Drew wouldn't get back up. At that moment, his life flashed before his eyes. He never surrenders, and he stopped getting hurt and started getting angrier. He didn't give a damn that it was Brock. He was going to claymore him as much as possible it took, and now he's the champion. Then, big reveal with this big breaking news thing. Well, it's the Big Show. Big Show shows up, comes out, pulling a referee out with him. He gets on the microphone. He congratulates Drew on his victory and becoming champion. But now there's an entire locker room coming for him. But he's not challenging him for a title shot at Money in the Bank, or at a later date. But right now, ding, 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 ring the bell, bitch, let's go! Drew's like, no, I'm not fighting right now. But Show's like, you're just some punk flapping his gums. He doesn't see McIntyre angry. All he sees in his eyes is fear. Drew's like, this isn't my first day, and I'm not afraid of you, Show. I know but Show knows that he's got a Scottish temper, but he's gonna put it slow and simple. There's nothing Show can say that will convince him to fight. Which I'm like, why is the babyface backing down from a fight? Why? Like why? So then Show slaps, which I didn't really, it's not that hard. Back down across the face. Okay, let's fight now. Like, first off, saying this, I'm like, what are you doing? If this is like big breaking news, big monumental, I'm sitting there like, they're actually going to put the belt on Big Show, aren't they? It's like, what the? Here's my thing. First off, does it end up being the Big Show? Why does it have to be this whole, oh my goodness, breaking news, this happened after WrestleMania? Because McIntyre would go on to beat Big Show anyways. He won, thank goodness. But what was the whole point of being a whole, oh my gosh, this happened after WrestleMania last night? It was nothing. Nothing special at all. It was stupid. Like, this would have worked, like, one, if it was Big Show, this would have at least been somewhat special, which I didn't read the live chat, but I do see that Owen said this is for Big Show to promote his new Netflix show, which I kind of figured after the show ended. Like, I get that, but if that was the case, this didn't have to be some, oh my goodness, this whole big fiasco. They like, oh my gosh, breaking news. Once again, overproduced. It could have just had this be like the ending segment, or remember that you could have, even though I wouldn't have been a fan of this, you could have opened the show with having Big Show come out to challenge Drew for the match, basically. But also, why the freaking Big Show? To actually keep a storyline sense, why couldn't it have been, someone who, I don't know who you could have had it been, who actually came out of WrestleMania looking strong and doing this to Drew. Kind of like saying, okay, it's looking for, I get the idea you're trying to go with the whole idea of, okay, we're, you finally made it to the top, but can you handle being at the top, basically, kind of thing. You should have done someone who actually came out of WrestleMania going strong, just some not Big Show, who's barely, around anymore, unfortunately, which, right idea, because, he doesn't really need anything more right now. What was the point of this? Like, what was the point of, like, hyping this up throughout the whole show? It's like, oh my god, big breaking news and whatnot. This was not special. This was dumb. I hated it. And unless a Big Show continues to show up as a heel, I'm not doing a turn alert for him. Because, one, they could, in my opinion, yes, he came across more as a heel, but, the way I wouldn't say he was complete heel. He was more like that guy who was kind of like, trying to push him a little bit. So I wouldn't say he was full on heel, which is why this could be just a one-off, which is why I'm not going to do a turn alert. I am going to do a turn alert for Bianca Belair, because I wanted to wait to see what the long-term plan was for her. But once again, what I also hated too, was, why was Drew backing down from a fight? Why do baby faces back down from a fight? Stupid. I hated this show. And that's going to do it for Raw. I'll read a live chat in a second, but let's see the polls on Twitter. 19 votes. What grade would you give this Raw after Mania? Again, A has 5.3%, B has 26.3%, C has 21.1%, D, well, first off, I would have hated that ending worse if Drew would have lost. And two, especially stuff I definitely hated, was that stuff with the Street Profits, Bianca, Theory, Garza, and Zelina. I hated that. That was awful. But let's check the live chat. Let's see what we got here. We've got... this should have been the last week of programming for a while. Now Mania finished. There's an opportunity to put the production on pause. Money in the Bank has no reason to go ahead and should. Exactly, Owen. Again, now apparently they're going to be doing tapings from an undisclosed location. Why? Because you're afraid you're going to get caught and you can't do your stinking little show anymore, Vince? Huh? He's afraid. He feels, oh, we're the only game in town, so people are going to watch. No, that's not the case at all, because you're basically watering down your product, overproducing it, overexposing it, and doing shows just to do that. That's the only reason why you're doing them, just to do them. You think you're the only game in town. You know, again, why not take a month or two off? Maybe it might be sooner if the freaking product if this pandemic does not end anytime soon, which I'm afraid it may be even longer now. Um, take time off. Allow us to miss this. That first Raw back, people would be excited. It'd be awesome. It'd be like, it's great to be back. We missed you guys. Drew, congratulations. This person's here, this person's here, whatnot. It's going to be awesome. But instead, you're going to water it down. No one's going to care, and no one's going to want to even come to the shows once, we're allowed to go to these events again. Dumb. They need a break. I completely agree, Owen. Completely agree. Let's see here. Why Seth face a jobber? No idea. But again, if they wanted to at least have him come out, be angry, just causing a beatdown, this should have set up for like some other like big surprise. That's what it should have done. But of course, we will get no reaction anyway, so just have Seth face a jobber. I still can't get over the Firefly Funhouse match. Watch it back 5 times. It's definitely my top 5 of all-time Mania moments. Oh, definitely. Oh my goodness, yes. I mean, watch it the first time, I was just left speechless to know what to think. But again, just awesome freaking mind games. But again, it's like, to me it felt like, did like Bray Wyatt literally become Professor Snape and Harry Potter? Well, Bray Wyatt was like Voldemort, and Harry Potter was like, it felt like the Aquaman-y stuff from Harry Potter basically. But it was awesome with all the references for sure. Alexa Bliss carried Nia to that moment at Mania. Yeah, and of course it went on to the Nia whole feud about like, oh, you shouldn't be a bully. Yeah, she ended up being a bully a few months later anyways. No, I'm sorry, like a month later, because of that. Remember that dumb segment she had when she was she squashed that jobber basically, just like, telling Ronda how you can't beat me and whatnot. And she's supposed to still be a babyface. Oh, that was terrible. People in general. And Ruby Riott is one person that literally, again, she's awesome on the microphone. She's great in the ring. She's that one person that's always been on the main roster, that's always been on the edge of like actually being a legitimate, talent to deal with. But no, they're giving her nothing to do. All she's done when she's come back is just one of the people who jobbed the Shayna inside the chamber just for Shayna to lose the same way she lost to Ember Moon in her first match at TakeOver Philadelphia. Stupid. Just so stupid for sure. Dallas says, not good to see you. I was expecting Jinder Mahal to return, which would have been fine for me, and it's nice for you to start Drew's reign off with a win. I mean, if it was just a one-off thing, then maybe, because they kind of do have history as 3MB, but still, like, why Jinder? I mean, like, again, should have been someone who I felt came out of WrestleMania with good momentum. I'm sorry, I am not a Jinder Mahal fan at all, but hey, if it was your, I mean, it kind of makes sense with storytelling, but the whole idea again of, this being, again, the thing of it being like, oh my goodness, this big thing that happened after WrestleMania last night, it did live up to that hype for sure. Why Big Show facing Drew? Who the heck knows? Well, like Owen said, it was probably happened because they were probably promoting Big Show's new Netflix show that was debuted right after this. So, okay, but it was not produced well at all. Must have been Big Show's 456th heel turn of his career. Again, I'm not going to do a turn on this because this might have just been a one-off thing. Also because, again, yes, Show was coming across more as a heel, but it looked more like him just coming out to kind of, test Drew, basically. Not to really be like a legitimate villain, basically. But, you know what I mean, but whatever. Tyler, follow me on Twitter. Thanks, man. I'll follow you right back after this. I just loved how the promo Cena cut on Bray came full circle at the end of the match. It was like Cena was talking about himself the whole time. Exactly. And he was man enough to admit it. Which is why that all worked. It kind of like, told that story beautifully, for sure. Even though I wish I would have reacted better to it, but, it was awesome. And, they can do more of the cinematic stuff if they want to. They actually would probably make their shows better if they did this cinematic stuff, but nope. Just this same old shit, because Vince is not going to give up. You can even try pulling Vince away from all this, and he'll just kick and scream and whine and cry, just like his precious Baron Corbin, going, "Hey, you're being big of meanings. I can't have my show. I'm the only game in town. I'm Vince McMahon, damn it. I can do whatever I want. I'm a genius. I'm a genius. I write such good shit. Yeah, that's what he'd be doing if they're basically trying to force him to stop doing his shows in general. But, you know. But yeah, guys, I gave this Raw at WrestleMania a D+. I was up here a lot longer than I expected, but oh well. I got a good audience. I have my energy in there to rant and just be the man, as always. So guys, that's going to do it for this live review of Monday Night Raw. On Wednesday this week, I'm going to flip-flop. Usually I watch AEW first, then NXT. However, well, here's the thing. On Wednesday nights right now, I am also watching Survivor. Then afterwards, I usually go to trivia night, on Wednesdays, but I can't because of all this going on. But since I want to do live reactions during the ladder match, the one Contenders Women's ladder match, which the winner is going to be facing Charlotte Flair for the NXT Women's Championship, and of course the Gargano and Ciampa match. Because I'm doing those live reactions, I will watch NXT first, and after Survivor, do those live reactions, and then Thursday I will do my AEW live review. That's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to flip-flop it this week because of those live reactions. So, that's going to do it, guys. Also, make sure, if you didn't see any of my live reactions, make sure to check those out. Check my WrestleMania 36 review. Make sure to also, because it's always down in the description box down below, check out my WrestleMania Experience documentary from when I went to WrestleMania 35 last year. Still a great half hour to watch, for sure. I think I'll probably hype up this for this week, but I feel like it's starting to get a little bit old. But if you have not yet checked out my Dark Side of the Ring Chris Benoit review, check that out as well. Also check out the trailer for Mandy Rose. The trailer I will be posting soon for Bianca Belair. And just always stay tuned for more content to come. With me pretty much all caught up now with everything, I'm going to try to start getting back to some other things on this channel as well, for sure. I mean, I still definitely want to do even though I don't know when the season will start, a Major League Baseball preview stream as well. And try to get some baseball talk going on here as well again. I definitely soon will get back to the Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban Let's Play that I started right before my YouTube hiatus began last July. And guys, we'll go from there. Again, as always, guys, please stay safe and stay healthy during this rough time. And then go from there. So, guys, once again, D+ for Raw this week. What are your thoughts on this episode of Raw? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Be sure, as always, to slap a like on the video. Subscribe or comment on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well, at DemandAirboy93. And with that, guys, I'll check it out. Of course, the next video I will be posting is my Bianca Belair face turn video. So until then, guys, have a great rest of your night. I'll see you guys all Wednesday for my NXT stuff. Peace out, everybody. Yeah, no, I will surprise. There's no